The video you're watching right now didn't come from the sky. To reach you, it almost certainly raced across the floor of an ocean, through a cable no thicker than a garden hose, lying in the cold and the dark, thousands of meters down. More than 95% of the world's international data moves this way. Not by satellite, not through the cloud, through a few hundred fragile threads of glass on the seabed. Welcome to Pocket Eureka, where big discoveries come in small doses. Today, how a handful of cables and a shrinking fleet of aging ships quietly hold the entire internet together, and why that fragile arrangement has suddenly become one of the most nervous questions in global security. It started in 1858. After years of failure, she finally dragged a telegraph cable all the way across the Atlantic. Queen Victoria sent the American president a message in Morse code, and two continents celebrated. Then, about 3 weeks later, the cable went dead. An engineer had forced too much voltage through it and burned it out. It took 8 more years to lay one that lasted, but that single line in 1866 rewired the world. News that had taken more than a week by steamship now crossed the ocean in minutes. The cables have never stopped growing since. Today, just one modern cable can carry more than 200 terabits every second, nearly the whole internet, riding on beams of light. Here's how. Your data travels as pulses of light through hair-thin glass fiber. Light fades over distance, so every 50 to 100 kilometers the signal passes through a repeater that boosts it back to strength, each one powered by thousands of volts sent down the cable itself, running for 25 years in total darkness under crushing pressure. It's a staggering feat of engineering. It's also shockingly easy to break. These cables snap constantly, up to 200 times a year. Rarely anything dramatic, usually a dragged anchor or a fishing trawler. And when one goes, your data doesn't stop. It reroutes, racing the long way around the planet, and whole countries suddenly slow down. When a volcano severed Tonga's only cable in 2022, the islands all but vanished from the internet for 5 weeks, and the fix has barely changed in a century. A ship sails out, drops a grappling hook, and drags the seabed until it snags the broken cable. It hauls both ends to the surface, and a technician splices the glass fibers back together by hand. Doing that for the entire planet? About 60 ships, many of them aging, and retiring faster than they're being replaced. For 150 years, this was an engineering story. Lately, it's become something tenser. In late 2024, 2 cables were cut in the Baltic Sea within a day of each other. That same year, dragged anchors severed cables in the Red Sea and around Taiwan. Investigators keep finding the same fingerprint, an anchor scraped across the seabed, but proving whether it's an accident or sabotage is almost impossible. Which leaves an uncomfortable truth. The most important infrastructure on Earth is a few dozen strands of glass, lying exposed in the dark, watched over by a fleet you could almost count on your fingers. The cloud isn't a cloud, it's wet string, and a few dozen ships patrolling the deep. That's today's Pocket Eureka. Subscribe and keep your curiosity switched on.